Everyone is talking about what to eat for weight loss, and it can be kind of confusing because there is so much out there with like snack ideas, meal plans, pointless, like bottom of the barrel pointless infographics that leave you more confused than you were to start with. And the whole time you sit there wondering, what do I actually eat? So that's why I'm here. I'm Shay, I'm a nutritionist, I'm an international level athlete, and we're talking about a tier list today. What you can eat, what's going to make things easier to lose weight. And a concept that's so simple but everyone gets wrong is no food will make you lose weight, no food will make you fat. But there are foods that make it easier to overeat and harder to overeat. So things that are like higher in calories, they're salty, they're sweet, you can really overeat on those, and the overeating will lead you to gaining weight. And the inverse is true for losing weight. So things that are full of water and fiber and protein are going to fill you up for a lot less calories. And as well, you need these foods to be micronutrient dense because you're eating less to lose weight calorie wise, but your micronutrient total requirement stays the same. So if you're just eating the same foods, you're just going to miss the mark. You need them to be higher density, okay? Anyway, let's get into it. So here we have the gorgeous tier list, and I've thrown in some things that people are recommending and a few things that I think are good or bad, just things to talk about. Alright, first up we got avocado. Everyone thinks avocado is great for those healthy fats, which is true. Unsaturated fats are usually going to be better, that you get from usually plants. And I'm going to put avocado in, I'm going to say A tier, because it can be hard to get your fats in without eating too many calories, because fats, usually if you think oils, they're going to be very high calorie. Avocado is kind of, it will fill you up, you'll get some good fats, some good micronutrients for not that many calories. I think it's probably one of the best fat choices for cutting. Next up we got rice. Now everyone is talking about white rice, but you know, it's nice to put with meals. I like white rice. But as far as cutting goes, you can easily kind of overeat on it. It's not got that many micronutrients. Because again, there's no fiber, it's easy to eat a lot more compared to other carbs. So I'm gonna put rice in C tier, unfortunately. But it's not a bad option. It's just this bitter ones for carbs, right? Next up, we got beef. So beef, yes, it is kind of higher calorie than a lot of foods, but protein will fill you up, and beef mince is a decent quantity of micronutrients and protein. And yeah, it's kind of satiating for the amount of calories, and as well when you're cutting, you need higher protein, so you don't waste away. Because if your protein's low and your calories are low, you'll just lose muscle. It's that simple. So I think that's A tier. I mean, it could be lower calorie if you want to buy like the 95.5 beef. That could be even better. Anyway, next up, chicken. I think chicken's a step above beef because although the micronutrient profile might be slightly better in beef, I think chicken's a lot more filling and there's less fat, which means it's lower calorie. It's, you know, it'll fill you up for less calories basically. That's why I put it a little bit above. Next up, liver. So to illustrate my point I said earlier, you need micronutrients, and liver is overpowered, dude. It won't make you look like Liver King because he was on all sorts of other things, but it's a pretty good way. It's also pretty cheap, and man, if you have a bit of liver, your micronutrients are just like sky high. So, way to go. Next up, we got chickpeas. I like chickpeas. I think they're handy. They're versatile. They're cheap. Micronutrients are good. They got good fiber. I find it a weird one where I can fill up on these, but I can also eat a lot if I'm trying to bulk. It's like one of those ones that's good for cutting and bulking, I find. I'm gonna put that in A tier. Hold on, I'm gonna reorganize these actually, because I think this list is otherwise gonna be a bit top heavy. So we'll leave it there for now. Okay. Next up, almonds. Almonds are good. Micronutrients are in there. They're an alright protein source, not the best. They're not too expensive, but they're reasonably high in calorie for what you're really getting. They won't really fill you up. There is a little bit of fiber, but not much. Almonds, great food. Ideal for bulking, but don't eat these when you're cutting, man. You're gonna bump up your calorie total and you're just gonna feel the exact same. You're like, where's the rest of my meal, man? Come on. Same goes for peanut butter. Peanut butter is probably even worse. Just because it's easy to eat more of because you don't really have to chew it. So bear in mind, these two are fine. Like, if I was doing a bulking tier list, these would be at the top. I'd probably put almonds in A and peanut butter in S. Olive oil, it's tricky because olive oil's really good for you, but it is so high in calorie, man. Again, I have a lot of olive oil, because sometimes my training needs are quite high, and it's easy to bump up my calories with that. But I think it's still the best cooking oil choice. It's not going to help you lose weight though. I'll put it in C tier just because it's healthier than the alternatives. Unless you want to go for like the 0-calorie cooking spray. That's probably like the the golden one for cooking on a cut, even though it's not that enjoyable. Next up, dark chocolate. I see a lot of people talking about dark chocolate. I don't know why. It's lower in calorie than milk chocolate, of course, but it's not going to help you lose weight. I guess it's sort of like a treat that isn't too high in calorie, so I won't put it in D tier for that, but I don't really see the goal there. Yes, there's some flavonoids, but we don't know how much those actually are in the chocolate after processing the cocoa beans, so I'm going to leave it there. Next up, we got broccoli and most vegetables, I'll say. Straight in S tier, dude. Micronutrient density, high fiber, high in water, which means low in calorie. You can really bulk up a meal without adding too many calories in there. It's what you want. It'll help you fill up, and you can actually, if you're throwing things like chickpeas and chicken breast and maybe some whole grain quinoa or rice and some broccoli, dude, you can make a massive bowl that's not going to be that high in calorie. So S tier. Spinach and leafy greens, even higher. I'm not ordering these, but I'd probably put it something like that if I were. Maybe even like that, I don't know. Yeah, filling, the most micronutrient dense thing outside of organ meats, and it's even lower in calorie. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like so many micronutrients, but you're kind of like dividing by 0 because there's no calories in there, pretty much. So, good stuff. Next up, oats. This is why I put rice in C tier, because I wanted to put oats above it. I think they're quite filling, right? Because there's fiber in them, and they're kind of tasty, which makes it like a good option for breakfast, because you don't really want to, there's some foods you don't want to eat for breakfast, unless you're just fasting. In that case, you're not eating anything. But either way, I'd probably put oats in, I'll throw it in A tier. I think it's quite nice to have. Micronutrient profile is good, fiber's there, nice carbs, low fiber. I said fiber like 5 times, dude. Next up, whey protein. This is an interesting one, because the thing is it has no micronutrients, and the thing is it's easy to eat, because you're drinking it. so I guess you're not eating it. If you ever like had a spoonful and just put it in your mouth, it's a weird sensation. Anyway, ideally on a cut, if you're trying to lose weight, you're not drinking your calories, just because it's an easy way to bump up the total. So I'm going to put that in B tier. It's okay, because of course you want high protein if you're trying to cut, so it has its place there, but it's not really going to fill you up. But it's also a nice kind of sweet treat. So somewhere in the middle. Beans. These are kidney beans here, so I guess this could mean most beans, like black beans or chili beans, whatever. I'm going to put it on par with sort of like chickpeas. It's in that realm. Decent protein, decent fiber, micronutrients. It's got some decent carbs in there for your training, and it'll, again, cheap way to beef up your meal for not that many calories. I wouldn't say they're as good as the chickpeas or the lentils, but they're up there. They're pretty good. Next up, milk. Same sort of story with whey protein. Well, actually not really, but sort of. You don't want to be drinking your calories. It's just harder to adhere to a lower calorie total. But as far as milk goes, compared to the whey, it actually has some micronutrients which are helpful. I was going to say fiber again. There's no fiber to drink. It'd be kind of weird. I don't know if that would like sediment on the bottom. I'm not too sure. Anyway, don't drink your calories, man, if you're trying to cut. I mean, otherwise, milk is fine, assuming you don't have like acne flare-ups from it or indigestion, but either way. Cookies. I specifically put cookies in here because this is like one of the worst things you can eat if you're trying to eat low calorie, because like they're sweet usually, sometimes they're a bit salty too. There's no water in them, they're just calorie dense, and it's so easy. Like I could eat 1,000 calories worth of cookies in like a couple minutes and not even blink, dude. It's outrageous. So if you're on a filthy bulk, sure, but But if you're trying to cut, like, stay away from these things, man. If you want to have something sweet, or something, a bit of a treat, I mean, the dark chocolate's a little bit better, but even better than that, I would say berries. Yeah, they can cost a bit, and you can rack up some calories compared to other fruits, but the micronutrients there, it's really rich in antioxidants, which are great for managing systemic inflammation. They just make you feel better. You know, a pretty good food to eat. I'd put them, as far as health foods go, I'd put them even higher, but I think other fruits are just a little bit better. That's why I'm going to put bananas a little higher, because I think it's easier to eat 100 calories of berries than it is to bananas. Bananas are a bit cheaper, and they're pretty nice to have right before training. And that's kind of interchangeable with similar fruits. Fruits usually are quite similar with as far as macronutrient and micronutrient breakdown, more so macronutrient, but either way it's alright. Cheese. As soon as I say cheese, my cat wakes up. She's an absolute fiend for cheese, dude. I swear. It's like her only word she knows in English. Ooh, flesh. Okay, cheese. Again, easy to overeat. It's pretty calorie dense because the fat content's high, and fat is higher in calories per gram than carbs and protein. So I'll put it low. I mean, put some on your food if you want, but I wouldn't make like a really cheesy pasta. Like, that's gonna be too many calories. Black coffee. I don't know if I put this in S or A tier. I want to put it in S just so it's a bit more even. Maybe that's the wrong reason, but I think black coffee has its power because a lot of people like to intermittent fast during their cutting phases, and black coffee makes it kind of nice because you're still drinking something. The caffeine blunts your hunger, it bumps up your metabolic rate a little bit, so I think in moderation. You don't want to be chugging down caffeine, then you crash your sleep, and if your sleep's bad, then you lose more muscle, the studies have found, so prioritize sleep, but coffee can help. Eggs are alright. They're not that calorie dense unless you're like frying them in butter, but good protein source. The yolk has got some good micronutrients. Maybe if you just want to do the egg whites, that can be useful too. Pretty versatile. I'll put it in B tier. Maybe that's just me trying to like make everything like nice and smooth. Last up, guess where this one's going, guys. Whole grains. No, not there. Straight up the top, dude. Because it's kind of like rice, except this is going to be really filling. And I realize that some whole grains aren't that nice. Like, I don't really like brown rice. I don't mind brown bread, or like the bread with the seeds in it. That's kind of alright. I guess oats is kind of a whole grain, depending on, it's kind of like in between, isn't it? But you get a lot more micronutrients from the bran, from the grain. It's going to fill you up. It's just a lot better. So well, that's it for me. Let me know what you think, because this is a little bit subjective, because of course if there's something that fills you up really well, and you know, that's just going to be a good food to have for you and you enjoy it. So it's more about doing what works for you. This is sort of a framework. Like, I doubt you're going to make the peanut butter and cookie diet work on a cut. You're going to be miserable. But if you're fitting in some of these foods near the top, it's just going to be an easier time and you're going to feel better. So there's that. I'll see you next time.